Overcoming poverty is not a gesture of charity, it is a protection of a fundamental human right, the right to dignity and a decent life. Nelson Mandela. Perhaps many people do not know, or maybe they just don't care, but almost the 13% of the global population lives in a condition of hunger, meaning this instead of a percentage as a number, 795 million of people worldwide live in harsh conditions to sustain a healthy life. This is a huge number if we take in consideration that the world population is of 7,632,819 approximately. There is also a considerable number of external sources that confirm that the region of West Africa is actually living a situation really difficult, but not only in the actual time, for a long time, for at least 50 years. West Africa has been living in bad economic conditions, meaning this has a lack of economic resources to sustain an average life. Today, we're going to look for some common groups where economy is hard and try to focus on them. The most affected groups of people are divided in three: low income farm household, newborn infants, and pregnant and lacting women. These three are the main affected by the economic situations and the lack of service from the government. In order to fulfill the purpose of this podcast, I decided to interview some people native from the region of West Africa and ask them some questions about the truth and the challenges people in West Africa live. My research guiding question was: what are the programs that support food distribution? What strategies could be implemented to reduce hunger? Having stated this, I had to elaborate my questions so I could reach out all the subjects and answer to my research guiding questions. As I approached the three people that were meant to be interviewed and were supposed to help me, I encountered a lot of trouble due to the very large distance between West Africa and Mexico. But I managed to solve this interference and could solve it. Mainly, they all agreed that West Africa is very difficult to live in, and also it's not in the actuality. West Africa has been living in this situation for a very long time, a situation in which more than the 25% of the population, including infants, pregnant women, and old people, are living in. Nutritious food in sufficient amounts are essential for everyone, but mainly it is primordial for children. In early childhood, right nutrition can ensure healthy growth, a strong immune system, proper organ formation and function, and also cognitive and neurological development. This is the main issue. Nutrition is essential. Good afternoon. I'm here with a very special guest who is actually living in Africa. Welcome, Clapperton.
Hi, Emilio.
What would you say that is the actual situation of Africa regarding economic and nutritional issues?
I used to live in a region near West Africa, Lesotho, and the things there were really bad. Even when I was a kid, living there was hard. No money, no support of the government.
Mm. What are the conditions of the neighborhood where you live or stayed?
I used to live in a very small house where barely my mom and I could fit in, but I wasn't the only one. Almost all my friends lived like that. No water, no food, no electricity.
Um, I'm sorry. Are you aware of any governmental or private institution that supports or aids the hunger and nutritional issues?
Not really. No institutions helped me or my mom when I was a boy.
Are there actually any ethnic groups or famines that split or affect the coexistence of all the groups in the region? Would you consider this split as a probable cause of hunger?
Yeah, I used to belong to one. I'm not proud. But it's either survive or die. Yeah, violence is affecting a lot of economy in West Africa.
Okay. What do you think the UN has not intervened regarding these hunger problems?
Maybe because they are not aware of they or they cannot interfere with the internal issues.
What countries support the most your region with food aid or economic aid?
England and France were both the main supporters of my community.
Well, I believe that's it. Well, thank you very much, Clapperton.
You're welcome, Emilio.
Hello, I'm here with my second interviewee, Cafius Ongumere. Hello, Cafius.
Hello, Emilio.
So please let us begin with the questions. What would you say that is the actual situation of Africa regarding economic and nutritional issues?
But as a matter of fact, horrible. Nothing has changed in 30 years. Whenever people needed money, food, or water, nobody was there to support us. I lost my brother because of nobody could help us.
What are the conditions of the neighborhood where you lived or stayed?
Difficult. Some people have to do whatever it takes in order to survive.
Are you aware of any governmental or private institution that support and aids for hunger and nutritional issues?
No, no organization has ever come to help us. Just donations from people.
Oh, are there actually any ethnic groups or fables that split or affect the coexistence of all the groups in the region? Would you consider this split as a probable cause of hunger?
Fables help people providing other and help to those who need it.
Why do you think the UN has not intervened regarding these hunger problems?
Because we don't think they care. If we disappear, easier for them.
What countries support the most your region with food aid or economic aid?
I think England people send lots of donations.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome, man.
And for my third and last interview, I would like to introduce you to Soya.
Hello, people.
So let's begin. What would you say that is the actual situation of Africa regarding economic and nutritional issues?
The actual situation in Africa is really sad. Violence, a lot of people died.
What are the conditions of the neighborhood where you live or stayed?
They were really bad. People could barely drink clean water or sustain a healthy life. If you surpassed the age of 13, you were some kind of miracle.
Are you aware of any governmental or private institution that supports and aids for hunger and nutritional issues?
No, as a matter of fact, institutions try to avoid us. We are like a lot cost to them.
Are there actually any ethnic groups or fables that split or affect the coexistence of all the groups in your region? Would you consider this split as a probable cause of hunger?
Yes, near my village, two gangs existed and tried to kill each other in order to get control of the water and food resources.
Why do you think the UN has not intervened regarding these hunger problems?
This is because they are afraid of entering problems and they cannot afford losing money in every damaged area.
What country supports the most your region with food aid or economic aid?
Well, French people often come with supplies but are stolen by the gangs.
Well, that's it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
As I interviewed the people, I could notice something. They three all came from different parts of West Africa. This must mean something. The three were all involved in some type of violence, the three lived in hard conditions, and had to survive the conditions. West Africa can be a place where lack of opportunities are very present, but also that goes to second plane as the most important thing is going unnoticed, lack of life. This is the main issue here. Death is way over life in West Africa, and the government is doing nothing at all to fight this issue back. This is getting worse. Actions must be made. People are hoping to achieve an average life. For us, this is a common thing. For them, this would mean a miracle.